This is a broadcast of SmallCapVoice.com, a financial communications and investor relations firm. SmallCapVoice.com receives payment for investor relations and financial consulting services that it provides to its clients. You should assume that officers, directors, and employees of SmallCapVoice.com or financial analysts mentioned and their families hold a position and intend to trade in these securities for their own accounts. This is not an offer or recommendation to buy or sell securities. Information in this broadcast is presented solely for informative purposes and is not intended to be, nor should it be construed as, investment advice. As in all investments, an investment in the featured company carries an investment risk. Listeners should review the company thoroughly with a registered investment advisor or registered stockbroker. This broadcast does not purport to be a complete study of the featured company or other companies mentioned. Information used and statements of fact have been obtained from the featured company and other sources but not verified nor guaranteed by SmallCapVoice.com as to completeness or accuracy. Such information is subject to change without notice.
You're wired in. SmallCapVoice.com. Following is a presentation of SmallCapVoice.com, today's leader in investor relations, capital formation, and retail support. Now, with your online business briefing, SmallCapVoice.com's Stuart T. Smith.
Welcome one, welcome all to this online business briefing brought to you by SmallCapVoice.com. And as you just heard, I'm your host, Stuart Smith, and we're joined today for the very first time by New Generation Consumer Group Incorporated. They're traded under the ticker symbol NGCG, and we're lucky enough to be joined by the Chief Operating Officer, who is also the Director of Investor Relations for the company, Mr. Phil Longoria. Phil, how are you today?
Very good, Stuart. Thank you for having me on.
Absolutely. Thank you for taking the time to speak with us here today. Now, your shareholders know who you are, but for our listeners who may not be familiar with your company yet, if you would, please describe your company and its business model.
Sure. Let me explain. New Generation Consumer Group is different out of the gate in so many ways. What makes us unique more than most startups these days is, a lot of people come up with a product or a widget, then they have to figure out how to get it out there or figure out how to make it look flashy and shiny and just try to be able to sell the sizzle, because sometimes you have something wonderful, but if you can't explain it, you can't make it happen. What happens with New Gen, which makes us different, is we've got a different approach because we're set up as three different companies. We have Monster Marketing Group, which has a proven track record of marketing and social media awareness. They do commercials, they do mailers, they do print, they do a lot of the design work. On top of that, we have Mucho Macho Products, which developed the Mucho Macho Michelada Mix, which is a Mexican-style Bloody Mary, and then Hemp Life Water Infusers, which is kind of like a Crystal Light, but you add it to any bottled water or any glass of water, and it gives you 100 milligrams of hemp protein. And then fourth, we have Top Dog Supplements, and it's a testosterone builder. When a lot of people ask us why so many products under one umbrella, we tell them because each one has its own unique and interesting mindset, if you will. The Monster Marketing Group gets to be the in-house agency and treat each one of the three divisions separately. So it makes it easier for us to be able to bring things to market, to be able to do the product development, the POP. When we put together some of the marketing ads, a lot of people will ask us, who do we use? And we're always proud to say we get to do it in-house. So in that one sense, it makes us unique because a lot of people have an in-house art department, maybe an in-house graphics department, but not everybody has an in-house marketing department to be able to say, that it runs autonomously, to be able to help the products, get them out there, and make them look good. Because at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. Until people actually try your product, you got to be able to sell them on the visual.
Well, what a great concept and business model. Lots of different markets to tap into, and we'll go into that a little bit later. But to make a company as savvy as this one, you're going to need a strong management team. Let's learn a little bit about you as our guest first, and then tell us about other key members of the management team.
Sure. So I'm Phil Longoria, COO and Director of Investor Relations, and I co-founded Monster Marketing Group. My partner, Mike Berrio, and I, who's also on the board, we saw a need several years ago that as today's technology was changing, people were going all digital. As much as we embrace digital, use it every day, we still believed that there was a tangibility issue that we felt some people were missing. So we started Monster Marketing Group, and we called it, just about print in hands. If we could put something in a consumer's hand, we had a stronger shot of getting them to move forward. So we then developed Monster Marketing Group, we started working with different auto groups, real estate companies, fast food arenas, and then some of the larger franchisees here in America. And during that time, we had several people coming to us with different products, and we decided and saw a need also that we could expand and do our own product launching here in-house.
Well, thank you for that, Phil. And how about some of the other members of the management team?
Absolutely. You know, in addition to myself, who, again, I'm proud to be one of the co-founders, we've got an exceptional executive team. I mean, our team brings over 85 years of combined experience, you know, to this whole process. So one of the things that really makes us proud is our CEO is Chuck Morrison. Chuck Morrison's got more than 25 years of marketing experience. He was account director for Burrell Advertising. He worked with McDonald's and Carnation, helping them become successful in their ethnic marketing programs. The other thing that we're very excited about, because our products are so beverage-driven, Mr. Morrison was Vice President of Multicultural Marketing for Coca-Cola USA. So for us, you know, we don't think there's anybody better in this category that could help us, because under his leadership, Coke USA realized, you know, dramatic growth in volume, profit, share, and all the ethnic segments. So for us, you know, it makes sense to have somebody like that at the head of our company and help guide us, you know, in this challenging marketplace. Stuart, and then we also have, you know, our fabulous CFO, Anthony Sykes. He's got over 35 years experience in the accounting and consulting arena. But what makes him so special for us, he used to be with the IRS. He then became a revenue agent. So you can imagine, for us having somebody who knows the ins and outs, it always keeps us on the straight and narrow. And then finally, one of the co-founders of New Gen is Calvin Ross. Over 25 years in the beverage industry, he helps us with product development, implementation, distribution. His whole thing is he really understands the beverage market. You know, he founded Excuse Liquor Brands, Pitbull Energy, Atomic Dog Energy, and he's provided just a ton of consulting services for other companies. And so we're really excited that as a co-founder of New Gen, you know, our top-tier team, really, we consider to be one of the best.
Well, it sounds like you've got, one, a good concept and multiple markets to tap into, and number two, a savvy, experienced management team, which is, of course, one of the most important components for the survival of any young company. Now, you did call your company a startup earlier, but you look at the company and how much it's put out there to keep its investors and shareholders apprised of its doings. The press wire is full of great press releases, listeners. Please go back using that ticker symbol again, NGCG. But as you look back on 2015 so far, and maybe into 2014, what do you see as some of the major milestones for the company?
You know, the biggest thing for us is that we were excited at the end of last year in 2014. We finalized our merger. You know, we began working towards new products and introducing, finding new bases and new markets here in America for the new year. On January 12th of this year, 2015, it was our official first day of trading. So now that we're 7 months old, we see such an exciting year. I mean, things have been challenging. I would like to say that on paper, in our head, we wanted to be so much further along, but who doesn't? But one of the things is we understand that it's not only important to keep pace, but to stay ahead of the curve and pivot where needed. So when we introduced our newest product, Mucho Macho Products Hemp Life, it really made a big splash in the market, because we understand that with the hemp industry growing and so many states changing their laws right now, we want to make sure that we stay relevant, that we stay ahead of the curve, and that we continue working with what's out there. So with us, this year we're looking at, you know, the first two flavors are already out, hemp melon and lemon. And then we've got two flavors that are just about finished, which is pineapple trip and munchie mango. So we're excited about that. This year also, if anybody got to see the great MMA fight a couple of weeks ago, Ken Shamrock and Kimbo Slice came out of retirement for one big fight. Well, during that time, Ken Shamrock became one of our spokespeople. So anybody who was watching the fight that day got to see the big Mucho Macho logo on his shorts. So for us, that was extremely exciting to get that kind of national exposure on such a high-profile event. So, you know, we are working very, very hard to get our name out there. We just finished our first commercial. It's been produced. It's going to start airing on local cable channels as soon as we finish editing on all of the final tape. And, you know, it's something that we believe in. And finally, in closing, for what we're looking for 2015, we really want to be a leader in this fast-paced consumable products market. You know, and I think that with our product mix and our management team, we really have what it takes to make that happen.
That's terrific. Now, looking forward to 2015 and beyond, what are some of the goals that you have for the company?
Honestly, that's our most exciting part, for me anyway. We are so close to finishing the Form 10, and all of our financials are being audited right now. We really want the shareholders to understand, and everybody who's out there, that, for us, it's absolutely a priority. We want everybody to feel comfortable with the company, that, we're looking forward, as far forward as we possibly can. We're hoping to get approval for Excuse, which is our liquor beverage. That process takes a long time here in the States to get a new liquor approved to come into the States, and we feel that we've been out there long enough that hopefully it's going to come any week now. And then finally, we're very excited that we're trying to finalize our distribution agreement with our newest Chinese distribution partners. If we get that going, and once we finalize that, it's going to really, really help us start making inroads to domestic distribution.
Well, a lot of these topics were touched on recently by the company. July 9th, that press release came out. New Generation Consumer Group announces significant progress in several key areas for the company. Using that ticker symbol again, you can go out and find that news, NGCG, if you'd like to learn more about the company. And we encourage you to do so. Take a look at their website, newgencg.com. That's newgen, Newgen, CG.com. Phil, let's go back to another area that you just touched on. Doing business in China, as we all know, can be fairly tricky. There's been some hiccups in China over the past decade in dealing with American companies. Let's learn more about that.
Absolutely. And again, we're sensitive and we're conscious of all of that going on. Well, right now, 3 of our key people came back from China about 10 days ago, meeting with a few different companies over there. We understand that China is an evolving, emerging, not economy, and obviously, they've got some issues, but they're emerging as a major, major player on the international markets about bringing products in. So we were excited that they sat down with us to look at it, and we know that nothing is ever going to be without hiccups. That was the best possible word you could have used. So we understand the group that we're currently dealing with right now is a major player in 14 of the key markets over there. They have access to a lot of the distribution centers that are needed to hit their version of the convenience stores and the smaller C-format stores that allow us a greater reach and access to the Chinese market. So while we are very, very confident and very excited about what's going to happen over there, we're also not unaware of, not necessarily pitfalls, but there's going to be some bumps and bruises. We understand that, and this is an ongoing, process, but we're excited that it's one of those things. I would rather have a few bumps and bruises along the way, looking down the road to what the full potential could be, as opposed to just saying, you know what, it's a little too scary, let's not go.
Excellent, Phil. Well, any closing thoughts or comments for the shareholders and listeners?
Stuart, first let me thank you again for this wonderful interview and the opportunity to talk to people. We send out a lot of emails, we send out a lot of press releases, but I like that at least they get to hear it from me so they understand that there is a level of sincerity that we're trying to relay to them. The other thing I want to stress is to everybody out there, please feel free to visit our site, newgencg.com, sign up for the newsletter. Also, please feel free to follow us on Facebook and Twitter. One of the things that we pride ourselves on is we try to keep all of the investors and everyone out there fully informed. The information is going fast and furious in today's markets, and we try to make sure that the level of mystery is reduced. We want everybody to be fully informed. And again, we look forward to hearing from anybody who'd like to talk to us.
Excellent. That's Phil Longoria, Chief Operating Officer and Director of Investor Relations for New Generation Consumer Group. I'm Stuart Smith, and for Phil Longoria, saying thanks so much for listening.
SmallCapVoice.com, today's leader in investor relations, capital formation, and retail support, provides its clients with the highest level of service. Our audio interviews are disseminated to one of the largest opt-in audiences available today. How? We at SmallCapVoice.com believe in aligning and affiliating ourselves with other leaders within the investor relations community. By sharing resources, each affiliated firm is made that much stronger and each client is served that much better. Our focus is to identify and provide the very best financial services and solutions available to clients and their shareholders. For more information about our services, please call us at 512-267-2430 or visit us on the web at www.smallcapvoice.com.